Ever felt like there's a dark side to your personality you just can't shake? A hidden flaw that trips you up again and again? What if I told you that flaw is written in the stars, etched into your very being by your zodiac sign? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the scariest, most self-sabotaging trait of each sign, and more importantly, how to conquer it. This isn't just about horoscopes, it's about understanding your shadow self. So, are you brave enough to face your darkness? Let's find out. First up, Aries. Your scariest trait? Your reckless impulsivity. You jump into things headfirst without a second thought, which can be great for adventure, but disastrous for your life. That amazing job offer you took without reading the contract. That relationship you dove into after one date. That's your Aries impulsivity at work, creating chaos. The fix? Learn the power of the pause. Before any big decision, force yourself to wait 24 hours. Use that time to actually think, to weigh the pros and cons. Your fire is a gift, Aries, but you need to learn how to control the burn instead of letting it consume you. Taurus, your dark side is your suffocating possessiveness. You cling so tightly to people, things, and ideas that you choke the life out of them. You see it as stability, but others see it as a cage. That friend you iced out for hanging with someone else. That project you refuse to let anyone else touch, only for it to fail. That's your fear of loss masquerading as loyalty. To fix this, you must embrace the concept of impermanence. Nothing is forever. Practice letting go in small ways. Donate things you don't need. Trust a colleague with a small part of a project. The more you practice letting go, the less scary it becomes, and the more room you create for new growth. Gemini, your scariest trait is your two-faced nature. It's not that you're intentionally malicious, but your desire to be liked by everyone means you often change your personality and opinions to fit the room. This leaves people feeling like they never know the real you, because sometimes you don't either. It's exhausting, isn't it? The solution is to find your core identity. Spend time alone and journal. Ask yourself, what do I truly believe in, away from the influence of others? Start by being your authentic self with one trusted friend. The relief you'll feel will empower you to stop wearing masks for everyone else. Cancer, your darkest trait is your crippling emotional manipulation. When you're hurt, you don't communicate directly. Instead, you use guilt, silent treatments, and passive aggression to make others feel responsible for your feelings. You retreat into your shell and make everyone around you walk on eggshells. To overcome this, you must learn to communicate your needs directly. Use "I feel" statements. Instead of slamming the door, say, "I feel hurt" when you say that. It's terrifyingly vulnerable, but it's the only way to build genuine, healthy relationships instead of ones based on guilt and fear. Leo, your scariest flaw is your all-consuming ego. You need to be the center of the universe, and when you're not, you become resentful and demanding. Your pride is so fragile that you can't handle criticism, and you often steal the spotlight from those who deserve it. The fix: practice active humility. Make a conscious effort every day to celebrate someone else's success. Ask questions and actually listen to the answers instead of waiting for your turn to speak. The world doesn't revolve around you, Leo, and the sooner you accept that, the more genuinely people will be drawn to your light. Virgo, your shadow self emerges as your paralyzing perfectionism. You hold yourself and everyone else to an impossible standard. Nothing is ever good enough. This leads to chronic anxiety, procrastination because you're afraid to start something you can't do perfectly, and intense criticism of others. The antidote is to embrace good enough. Start a project and give yourself a strict deadline, forcing you to finish it, flaws and all. Celebrate completion over perfection. Remember, done is better than perfect. Your quest for flawlessness is ironically the biggest flaw of all. Libra, your scariest trait is your chronic indecisiveness. You are so terrified of making the wrong choice or upsetting someone that you make no choice at all. This leaves you stagnant and allows others to make decisions for you, leading to a life you didn't even choose. To break free, you need to build your decision-making muscle. Start small. Decide what to have for dinner in under a minute. Choose the movie without asking anyone else. The key is to accept that there's no such thing as a perfect choice. Make a decision, commit to it, and trust yourself to handle the outcome. Scorpio, your darkest impulse is your vengeful nature. When you are wronged, you don't get mad, you get even. You hold grudges for years, plotting your revenge with a terrifying intensity that poisons your own soul. You believe this is justice, but it's a self-inflicted wound. The only way to heal is through forgiveness. Not for them, but for you. Forgiveness isn't saying what they did was okay, it's saying you will no longer allow it to have power over you. Write a letter to the person who hurt you, pouring out all your anger and pain. And then burn it. Release the grudge and reclaim your peace. Sagittarius, your most frightening flaw is your complete lack of accountability. You're the eternal free spirit, which is amazing until your actions hurt someone. Then you vanish. You hate being tied down, and that includes being tied down by responsibility for your mistakes. You'll ghost people, make empty promises, and run from any difficult conversation. The fix is simple, but hard: stay. When you mess up, don't run. Apologize. Listen to how your actions affected the other person. Facing the consequences of your freedom is the final step to true wisdom. Capricorn, your scariest trait is your ruthless ambition. You are so focused on the climb to the top that you're willing to step on anyone to get there. You see people not as humans, but as rungs on a ladder. This leads to a lonely existence, where success feels empty because you have no one to share it with. To fix this, you must consciously cultivate empathy. Schedule time for relationships with the same discipline you apply to your work. Volunteer. Mentor someone without expecting anything in return. Success is meaningless if you sacrifice your humanity for it. Aquarius, your dark side is your detached emotional coldness. You're so logical and intellectual that you view emotions as a messy inconvenience. You can appear aloof, uncaring, and robotic, pushing away people who just want to connect with you on a human level. You rationalize this as being above it all, but really, you're just afraid of vulnerability. The solution is to intentionally practice emotional expression. If a movie makes you sad, let yourself cry. If a friend tells you good news, express your genuine joy for them. Connecting with your own heart is the most revolutionary act you can perform. And finally, Pisces. Your scariest trait is your escapist tendency. When life gets hard, you don't face it, you retreat into a fantasy world. This can manifest as daydreaming, substance use, or simply refusing to deal with practical reality. You're the master of avoidance. But reality always catches up. To combat this, you need to ground yourself in the present. Practice mindfulness. When you feel the urge to escape, name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear. This pulls you back to the here and now. Your imagination is a beautiful gift, but it should be a place to visit, not a place to live. Facing these dark traits isn't about shame. It's about self-awareness and growth. The stars may incline us, but they don't bind us. You have the power to master your shadow, to turn your greatest weakness into a source of strength. What did you think? Did we get your scariest trait right? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into who we are. See you next time.